Hi everyone, welcome to Infidelity Chronicles channel. I'm excited to share a new story with you that I was just texting a friend. But when I looked up, my stepson was already between my legs. Not in that way, no, but kneeling, tying my shoelaces still the way he looked at me. I hadn't felt that scene in years, and that's when I realized something was broken in my marriage and I didn't even know how it happened. This isn't a story about cheating. It's about what happens when love goes quiet and someone else notices the silence before you do. My name is Olivia. I'm 39 years old, and I've spent the last few months trying to convince myself that what's happening isn't real, that I'm just tired, hormonal, that I'm imagining things. But something is happening, and it's been slowly bleeding into every part of me quietly, like water under the door until the floorboards rot. I'm not proud of what I'm going to tell you, but I'm even more afraid of what it says about me, about the way we pretend to be good, even when our insides are clawing in the other direction. I used to feel safe with Henry, my husband. When we met, I felt seen. I know that's such a damn overused word now, but it's true. He looked at me like I was the only woman in the room, and I let myself believe he could be a home I could return to again and again. We were both coming out of messy divorces. Both had kids from our pasts, but somehow we fit. We laughed. We danced in the kitchen. He used to press his lips to the back of my neck while I cooked and wrap his arms around my waist. In that way, that made me feel like something precious. But now, even when he touches me, I flinch, not because I don't want him, but because it feels disconnected, like he's just going through the motions. He kisses me goodnight, but his lips barely land, they hover. I reach for his hand on the couch, and sometimes he gives it, but there's a stiffness now, like a deadline. He's waiting to pass. We cuddle, but it's cold. His arm across me feels more like a GA than an embrace. And I think the moment I knew it was all shifting. The real moment was about a month ago. I was in the kitchen, texting my best friend about something stupid, just venting about how numb I'd been feeling. Lately, Henry was at work, or at least I thought he was. But then I looked up and saw Jamie, my stepson, and something in his eyes stopped my breath, like he'd seen me, really see me, and I felt something I wasn't supposed to. Henry is a pediatric surgeon. Brilliant, respected, calm, under pressure, the kind of man people trust with their babies. And yet in our own home, he fumbles with me like I'm a puzzle missing half its pieces. He shows love the only way he knows how, his hands. A squeeze on the H******S while I load the dishwasher, a kiss at the base of my spine. When I'm folding laundry, S******X, that's tender but mechanical, like a ritual we perform because we used to be good at it. But I need words, not poetry, not even long conversations, just connection. A sentence that says, he sees what I'm carrying, a moment where he asks how I really am, not a how is your day tossed over a glass of wine while he scrolls through patient charts. I tried to tell him once it was late, we were in bed. I had turned away, curling into myself like armor. He reached for me, not in a pushy way, not aggressive, just expected, like it was time. I whispered, I feel far from you. He paused, his hand still on my H*******S. I'm right here, he said. I wanted to scream instead. I said nothing. Let him kiss my shoulder, let him move closer, let him think it was what I wanted to. And that's the thing. He's not a bad man. He's just tired, overworked, focused on everyone else's wounds. But in that space where I used to feel held, I now feel hollow. And sometimes Jamie walks into the room and asks how I'm doing, really doing, and I nearly cry because he doesn't touch me. He sees me in that. That's what scares me the most. Henry came home early tonight. He said he canceled his last 3 consults for you. I was in the middle of slicing carrots. My phone buzzed beside me, Jamie's name lighting up the screen with a dumb meme. I didn't even open it, just locked the screen and tucked it under a napkin like I was hiding something. Henry walked up behind me, slid his arms around my waist like he used to his chin, pressed into my shoulder a little too hard. I missed you today, he murmured, voice warm. I smiled, but it was the kind of smile you paste on when your face doesn't know what else to do. You always say that. He chuckled like I was joking and kissed my neck. Not a soft kiss, a searching one. I felt my body stiffen under his hands. He didn't notice, or maybe he did and just ignored it. His fingers slipped beneath the hem of my shirt. I took a step forward gently. Henry, I'm making dinner. You're always making something, he said with a laugh, pulling me back against him. I laughed too. It wasn't real. It sounded like someone else. He smacked my butt playfully. I flinched. Hey, he said, eyebrows raised like I'd hurt him. I'm just messing around. I know. I said too fast. Sorry, I'm tired. He backed off, hands in the air like I'd accused him of something. I was trying to be close to you. I thought, that's what you wanted. I turned back to the carrots, blinking fast. My voice was thin when I answered. I do want closeness, just not like that. Not right now. Silence. The weight of it settled into the room like fog. He walked out the back door, slid shut. I stood there gripping a carrot like it had insulted me. I do want him. I want us. I want the warmth we used to have. But now every touch feels like a transaction, like something I owe for being distant. And then I heard the faint vibration of my phone again. Another message from Jamie. I didn't even read it. Just knowing it was him made my C*** T loosen, if only for a second. Why does everything have to turn into S*** X? We were supposed to have dinner on the deck. Just the three of us. Henry lit. The candles played that playlist he made back when we were still learning each other's favorite things. I wore the blue dress he once said made me look like summer. The table was set grilled salmon. When he was trying. I knew that, but I still couldn't feel it. He poured me a glass, raised his own to us, he said. Still standing. I smiled, but it cracked. Still standing. I echoed hollow. He started talking about a kid from work, a toddler with a tumor behind her eye, and I nodded, tried to listen. But I couldn't stop glancing at my phone, even though I'd silenced it. Jamie had messaged me earlier, just to check in a little, you okay today, that somehow lingered louder than anything. Henry said, Olivia. Henry asked, you're somewhere else. I dropped my fork a little too hard. I am here. I said, I'm just tired. You're always tired lately. He meant it like concern, but it landed like blame. You think I like feeling like this? I snapped his brows, knit like a damn appliance in this house. I said, voice rising like I cook and clean and get touched when you're in the mood, and then just shut off the rest of the time. His face stiffened. That's not fair. I pushed back from the table. What's not fair is pretending like I don't exist when I'm hurting, and then acting shocked when I don't want your hands all over me. He stared at me, stunned. Where is this even coming from? And then I broke. Tears came fast, ugly. Raw. I was texting my friend the other day, venting just about feeling empty, and you weren't even home, but Jamie was. He looked at me. Henry just looked, and for the first time in weeks, I felt like I wasn't invisible. His jaw tightened. You're bringing Jamie into this. I covered my face. No. I don't know what I'm saying. I stood. I can't breathe in this marriage anymore. He didn't stop me when I walked inside, later curled up alone in bed. I hated myself for the way I lashed out, for saying Jamie's name, for making it real. Why did I have to say that? Why did I have to make it real? 3 weeks passed. We spoke in fragments, grocery lists, work schedules, whether the recycling had gone out. Henry slept on the far edge of the bed. Now not out of punishment, but out of self-preservation, like he didn't want to take up more space than he had to. He wasn't angry. He was just tired. I'd catch him watching me sometimes, like he was searching for something in my face. He couldn't name, and I hated how I looked away like a coward. He still made coffee in the mornings. Still left mine in the travel mug with a sticky note that read, just in case today's softer, that one made me cry in the shower. I missed him. Not just the version I first fell for, but even this quiet, worn-down version of him. I missed the way he'd laugh in the middle of telling a story like he couldn't wait to get to the punchline. I missed his body next to mine, not for S***X, but for warmth, his C***T, his breath, the weight of him in the bed. But I don't know how to reach him now. He wasn't the villain in this story. He was a man who didn't know how to say what he felt, and I was a woman who was tired of being strong enough to guess. One night I came downstairs and found him asleep on the couch with a heating pad on his back. His glasses are still on. His phone opens to pictures of his son Jamie. There was love in that, and pain. I stood there for a long time, unsure what I was looking at, a man I'd already left or one I still wanted to fight for. And I thought maybe we're both just lonely in different languages, but which one of us would be brave enough to translate first? It happened on a Tuesday. Just a quiet, gray, skied evening with no particular meaning. I made spaghetti, something easy, familiar. I didn't expect much. We sat in silence for most of it. Henry barely touched his food. I pushed mine around the plate. When he finally spoke, his voice was low, tired. I keep wondering what part of you I stopped seeing, or if I ever really saw all of you to begin with. I looked at him, really looked. The man I married was still there, still kind, still trying but quieter, now worn down from fighting shadows. I never named aloud. I don't know when it happened. I said, but I stopped feeling like your wife and started feeling like your obligation. He nodded slowly, swallowed hard. You should have told me sooner. I did. I whispered, just not in words you understood. He stood, took our plates, rinsed them and came back with damp hands. For a moment I thought he'd just walk past me and go upstairs. But instead he reached for my shoulder, tentative, and kissed the top of my head. It broke something in me. I leaned into his side, and he let me wrap his arm around me. We didn't speak. We just stood there in the kitchen, with the hum of the fridge between us. That night he slept in our bed again, but we didn't touch. No reaching for skin. No expectation. Just the three of us facing the same ceiling, quietly coexisting. And maybe that's all we were now, three people too tired to burn it all down, too unsure how to rebuild. But as I lay there in the dark inches from his hand, I wondered, is stillness better than loneliness or just another form of it? You want to know the truth? It wasn't about Jamie, it never was. It wasn't about a kiss that never happened, or the way his eyes lingered on mine longer than they should have. It was about what that gaze made me feel seen alive, wanted in a way that had nothing to do with routine or obligation. I didn't fall in love with him. God, no, but I did fall into the ache of being noticed. And that's what scared me more than anything, because I used to think I was stronger than that. I thought love was something you built like a house piece by piece, patient, careful. But no one tells you that the structure you've lived in for years can quietly fall into disrepair. You still sleep in the bed, eat at the table, laugh at the same shows, but the walls shift, the roof leaks, and you keep saying we'll fix it later. Until one day you're standing in a flood. I say that might surprise you, or maybe it won't. There was no big dramatic ending, no suitcases, no slammed doors, just three people broken in different ways, trying to decide if something half alive could still be called love. Henry and I go to therapy. Now it's awkward, sometimes brutal. He listens more than he speaks. I speak more than I used to. We're not romantic, not yet, but we sat closer, and sometimes that's enough. I still catch myself wondering what would have happened if I'd leaned into the wrong comfort. If I'd let the loneliness win, but I didn't. That has to mean something if you take anything from this take. This desire doesn't always mean danger. And emotional neglect doesn't always come with bruises. Sometimes it just looks like silence at dinner, a kiss that doesn't land, a wife texting someone else because her husband forgot how to ask how she's really doing. We don't fall out of love all at once. We starve slowly but healing. That's not sudden either. It's one honest sentence, one unguarded night, one hand reaching back, even after months of stillness. And sometimes that's enough to begin again, or at least to keep trying. And that, I think, is still its own kind of love. Leave your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel by activating the bell, so you don't miss any of our daily videos. See you tomorrow.